In 2013, a 21-year-old student named Elisa Lam checked into the notorious Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles, a place known for murders, suicides, and dark history. 2 weeks later, she vanished. The final footage of her alive came from an elevator camera, and what she did in that elevator still terrifies millions. Today, we're going deep into one of the most disturbing real-life mysteries ever recorded, the Elisa Lam case. Welcome to Hidden Evidence. Everything you're about to see is based on real events and contains disturbing content intended for mature viewers only. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. This is Hidden Evidence. Who was Elisa Lam? Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old Canadian student traveling alone through California as part of a personal adventure. She kept an online journal where she openly talked about wanting independence, overcoming fear, and exploring the world on her own terms. To her family, she was bright, curious, and full of life. But she also struggled with bipolar disorder, something she managed with medication and routine. Her journey was supposed to be exciting, not terrifying. But on January 26, 2013, Elisa checked into a place she knew nothing about, the Cecil Hotel. The Cecil Hotel wasn't just another cheap place to stay. It was one of the most infamous buildings in Los Angeles, a place soaked in disturbing history. From the outside, it looked like an ordinary budget hotel, but inside it carried decades of tragedies, the kind most travelers never hear about. Since the 1920s, the Cecil had been linked to suicides, murders, drug overdoses, disappearances, and violent crimes that filled police reports for nearly a century. Two serial killers, Richard Ramirez, known as the Night Stalker, and Jack Unterweger, actually lived here during their killing sprees. They chose the Cecil because nobody asked questions and nobody cared who came or went. The building sat on the edge of Skid Row, one of the roughest areas in the entire country, full of poverty, homelessness, and danger. For decades, locals whispered one nickname, the Suicide Hotel. Elisa had no idea. To her, it was just an affordable stop during her trip. But for those who knew the building's past, the Cecil Hotel was the last place you'd want to spend a night. And within just a few days of checking in, Elisa began acting strangely. At first, Elisa's stay at the Cecil Hotel seemed normal. She explored the city, visited local bookstores, and even posted updates online. But as the days passed, her behavior began to change. Hotel staff later reported that Elisa was acting strangely at times. Some days, she was cheerful and talkative, asking the front desk about places to visit. But other days, she seemed frightened, paranoid, or confused. At one point, Elisa was staying in a shared room with other travelers, but the guests complained that her behavior was odd and made them uncomfortable. Management eventually moved her to a private room. Nobody knew what exactly happened in those interactions, but something was clearly wrong. While exploring the hotel, she was seen talking to herself. Some staff said she looked like she was hiding from someone, or something. Others said she appeared lost, like she wasn't fully present. Then, on January 31st, the last day she was seen alive, Elisa visited a bookstore near the hotel and spoke with the owner. She was buying gifts for her family. According to the owner, Elisa was kind, calm, and completely normal. But just a few hours later, everything changed. Elisa suddenly stopped communicating. No calls, no messages, no social media posts. On February 1st, she was officially reported missing, and the search began. What investigators found next would shock the entire world. With no signs of Elisa anywhere in the building, investigators turned to the hotel's security system. Days of footage were reviewed, and at first, nothing seemed unusual, until they reached the elevator camera. This was the last confirmed sighting of Elisa Lam, alive. The video begins with Elisa calmly walking into the elevator. She steps inside, presses several buttons, and waits. But the elevator doors don't close. The elevator doesn't move. It just stays open. Elisa leans forward slightly, looking confused. She steps out of the elevator, peeks left, then right, as if she's checking if someone is coming. She moves back inside, hides against the wall, then jumps to the doorway again, scanning the hallway like she's running from someone. Then something strange happens. Elisa begins moving her hands in an unusual, almost fluid motion, like she's communicating with someone we can't see. She stretches her fingers, swirls her arms, and steps back and forth as if reacting to something invisible. Some viewers say she looks terrified, others say she looks like she's talking to a person off-screen, and some believe she was hallucinating or experiencing a mental episode, but one detail stood out. The elevator still didn't move, even after she pressed multiple floors. It's as if something, or someone, was holding it in place. After about 4 minutes, Elisa calmly steps out of the frame, and the elevator doors suddenly close and begin functioning normally. This was the last time Elisa Lam was ever seen. The video went viral worldwide. Millions of people analyzed every movement, every gesture, every second, searching for clues. But instead of answers, the video only raised more questions. After the strange elevator footage, Elisa Lam seemed to vanish completely. Days passed with no sign of her, no activity on her phone, no social media posts, no sightings in or outside the hotel. But something else began happening inside the Cecil. Guests started complaining about the water. People on different floors reported the same disturbing problems. The water pressure is extremely low. The water looks dark. The water tastes strange. One guest described the water as black and foul-smelling. Another said it came out thick, like syrup. Still, the hotel continued operating normally, unaware that these complaints were connected to Elisa's disappearance. Finally, on February 19th, nearly 3 weeks after Elisa was last seen, a maintenance worker named Santiago Lopez went to the rooftop to check the water system. The rooftop was supposed to be restricted, locked doors, alarms, ladders, but somehow Elisa had ended up there. Lopez climbed the ladder to one of the 4 massive water tanks. He noticed that one tank's lid was slightly open. When he looked inside, he froze. Floating just below the surface was the body of Elisa Lam. She was naked, her clothes drifting nearby. Her body was already decomposing from the weeks spent in the cold, dark water. The discovery shocked the hotel, the city, and the entire world. How did she get up there? How did she get inside the tank, which was over 10 feet tall with a heavy lid? Why didn't anyone hear anything? And most importantly, was this truly an accident or something far more sinister? The mystery only grew deeper as investigators tried to understand what happened on that rooftop. Elisa Lam's death was ruled an accident, but nothing about this case feels accidental. The elevator footage, the strange behavior, the impossible water tank, and the dark history of the Cecil Hotel. All of it leaves us with one haunting truth. We may never know what really happened during Elisa Lam's final moments. Was it a tragic mental health episode, a dangerous encounter, or something darker tied to the hotel's past? To this day, no one has a definitive answer. And maybe that's why her story continues to haunt millions around the world. If you want more real mysteries, shocking true crime cases, and dark stories like this one, make sure to subscribe. There are many cases out there that deserve to be told.